Mark, thanks for your time as ever. Quick turnaround and a long trip back the other night. How have you and the players reacted since Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, it was a disappointing result, obviously, to lose in the circumstances as we did. Didn't feel we deserved to get beaten in that game. We did enough to win it ourselves, but whenever a ball goes into your box, you've got to be able to defend it, whether or not it's in the first minute or the last minute. And we probably got the organisation a little bit wrong in terms of responsibilities. And that's just about thinking on your feet. And if opposition do different things that you weren't expecting, then you've got to be able to react accordingly. So we need to work on that a little bit more than we have done in the past, just to make sure that we understand if different circumstances present themselves, then we've got to react a little bit quicker than we did.
Is the group still at that stage where they're just slowly learning and working each other out as well?
Yeah, it's going to be that way for a little while. Obviously, we don't want it to continue indefinitely. It won't do, because we'll work to address those little details that are important. That's all there is at the moment, in my view. Just the little details in the game are just letting us down somewhat. But performance-wise, as I said to the guys after, I was more than pleased with what we produced, without obviously taking the game away from the opposition, which is what we needed to do. We needed to get our noses in front. You saw the difference when we scored first against Newport. If we'd have scored first in that game, then I'm of the view, and I think everybody would probably agree, that we would have seen the game out quite comfortably, as we did against Newport. So it's about getting our noses in front, making sure we get that vital first goal. If we do that, then the game becomes more manageable, and balls into the box are less frequent, and you don't have to defend things when it's getting a bit frenetic, because the game is already in the bag.
I guess after we spoke, after the Newport win, you said the one thing you maybe looked at is doing a little bit more with the amount of possession and the chances you're creating. Mm-hmm. Again, on Tuesday night, we saw your side enjoy much more of the possession than Colchester. I guess it's just reiterating, making sure you take advantage of that.
We're doing a lot of good things, a lot of things that we're comfortable with. We probably need to create more clear-cut chances. I think that's something that we accept. I think we got, once again, a lot of domination in our possession. Our possession's with a purpose. We don't just pass it around for the sake of it, just to get our stats up. It's about trying to progress up the field. That's always the message. And we just need to get in the key areas and pick the right pass, and with the right appreciation, and just make more clear-cut chances. We're averaging about 13 to 15. In some games more than that, shots on goal. Not all of them are on target, and probably the percentage of the ones that are on target is lower than it needs to be. So we can up those levels, and if we do, then we'll have more opportunities, obviously, to score and come away with 3 points.
And I guess for you, you've got a lot of attacking talent at your disposal. Andy, Lee and Kean all coming on in the second half. How did you rate their contributions when they came on?
Yeah, I thought they did well. I thought Jake had a difficult first 45 minutes. Wasn't really able to get a foothold in the game, so I made a quick change there, and I thought Lee came on and did really well, and Kean and Cookie will always affect the opposition. So I mean, Cookie hits the post. Kean has a shot brilliantly stopped by the left back of Colchester, and on another day, those moments are converted into goals, and so it's fine margins. We just need one of those to go in, and like I said, when we score first, when we get our noses in front, then we look very accomplished. We look like a team that's in total control. But while it's 0-0 or 2-2 or whatever, then the opposition's always got an opportunity to put a ball in the box. In terms of the match itself, I think I said after the game, it's very difficult to stop balls going into your box for the full 90 minutes. At some point, you're going to have to defend those balls coming in. And for the most part, we've been through all the set plays, been through all the corners, and there's not too many exceptions where we haven't done the right things and defended really, really well. We pride ourselves actually on the amount of times that we defend set plays correctly, and just unfortunately we've had two moments in 2 games, away games, where we haven't quite done the things we needed to do, and we conceded as a consequence. So we paid a high price, but that will enable us to learn from.
Yeah, we mentioned the defence on Tuesday night, because for a back line, if you include the goalkeeper, 4 out of 5 of them are new to the club. They're still working each other out, but they have looked impressive so far this season.
Yeah, I was happy with their performance. As I said, it's just when maybe the opposition do something a little bit different. As I said, we just need to be a little bit more savvy, maybe streetwise, in terms of what they're trying to do to us to affect us, and maybe anticipate those situations better than we have done. And that just comes from knowing your teammates, knowing what we're trying to do, knowing what we normally do, but what we can do if an opposition team does something different against us. And that's work we can do on the training pitch as well. And we've had discussions today in terms of, well, in similar circumstances, would we have done the same things? Probably not. So there's things that we can learn from those situations, and that's why we have post-match reviews, to make sure that we take those learnings out of it.
One player in particular, and I know you don't single people out a lot of the time when you speak to us, but when we get the texts and tweets in, the fans have been so impressed with Romany Critchlow's contribution so far. You know, the way he reads play, the way he cuts balls out. What have you made to Romany's first few games?
Yeah, it's been very impressive. Very much the player that I thought I was getting. Had a great season, first part of the season for Swindon, and that flagged Rom's ability up to a lot of teams. So we're really happy that he made the decision to come and join us. I think everybody can see why we wanted him to be part of what we're doing, and he's had a really great start. Technically very good, very assured, defensively sound as well, and I'm enjoying watching him play. He's very much part of the way we want to play. Clearly, in terms of being comfortable in possession in deeper areas, he's very, very adept at that, and that doesn't faze him at all. And when you've got guys at the back who are calm in possession, then that can filter right through the team. So yeah, we're really pleased with the level that he's hitting at the moment. He's got to be able to maintain that. There's no reason why he can't do that. The expectation is that he will, and we feel that he'll get better the more games he has with us. I think, given that he's had the experience of this league, he understands it. It's not as if we're plucking somebody from a team at a higher level and dropping them into a situation that they've had no experience of. The year he had last year is invaluable for him and for us this year.
On to Saturday and going up to Hartlepool. Do you have any fresh injury concerns in the camp heading up there?
No, not really. Only basically the tiredness, really. It was a difficult trip back, and getting there the last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were difficult, but it's what we do, and the expectation is that you get on with it, and we had more of a recovery day today. Yeah, it's only the guys that didn't play the 9 minutes went out on the field. The rest of them had recovery strategies that they needed to go through, and they'll all be out there tomorrow, and we'll prepare for the game and prepare the detail that we need to obviously win the game over.
And I guess that's the benefits of having such depth in every position. If you feel needs be, you can always freshen things up, can't you?
Yeah, I can do. I do have those options, and I'm grateful for that. But there's still continuity for the most part in the side at the moment. It's only the top end of the pitch where we're just looking at different combinations still, and it's just when they click, then whatever combination it is, it's going to be helpful to us. So we've got good options all over the pitch, and that's what we wanted to do given the recruitment we pursued in the summer.
And happy memories up at Hartlepool last season with that 2-0 win, but it'll be a bit different this time. They're still looking for their first league win of the season. How do you assess them so far?
Yeah, we'll obviously go into more depth later today and tomorrow. But yeah, they've, like a lot of teams at this level, ourselves included, they've had a lot of changes in personnel, so they have to adjust to that just like we do and everybody else does. So it's early days for them. They will obviously be wanting to play well. They're the home team, so the onus is on them to really come out and ask questions of us. If they do, and if they're positive, then I think that will help us.
Best of luck.
Thanks, man.
No Levi Sutton on Tuesday night?
No. His wife is having a baby, and he was with her in the hospital, so he couldn't travel. There was hope that the baby would have come and he would have been able to join us, but that's not the case as yet. So he's not injured. He's just been with his wife. Yeah. So no. It's he trained today, Levi. So yeah, things might be moving in that regard, but I'm not privy to that, so don't quote me on that.
I was going to ask you about Verdane Oliver. Obviously, is the team sort of working out the best way to play with him at the moment? Because he just seemed a little bit isolated at times. I don't know. Is it a case of sort of perhaps giving him a few more crosses, or just sort of playing to his strengths a little bit more?
I think it's early days for Verdane. We know he's a very accomplished player, and that's why we brought him to the club. It's still early days. We've got to learn as a group how to get the best out of not only Verdane but other players within the team as well. And we're still probably getting to or getting through that process at the moment, because like I said, it's Verdane's a different type of player than probably we've had. We've obviously had big guys at the top, but we've not really hit too many balls from back to front. Maybe that's what Verdane's been more used to, and on occasions he'll make runs expecting those type of balls, whereas we're more likely to try and progress with passing rather than just longer balls and then playing the percentages. But what we have to do is get the maximum out of everybody who plays, and if we feel that we're not doing that, then we'll do more work and make sure that we progress everybody in terms of what they're producing. There's things that we can do for Verdane. There's other things that he can do more to make sure he's more effective. So he's very very used to taking on information. He's an intelligent footballer, and he'll get the best out of himself, I'm sure.
I think always the spotlight's always more on the centre forward, isn't
it?
There
is that. Yeah, and there's that judgment on how well you're playing by the amount of goals that you're scoring, and if you don't get off the mark, then people look at you more closely. That's the pain of being a striker. But the reverse of that is that you can play not particularly well and score the winner, and everybody thinks you're great. So it's a two-way street.
He's not particularly had that many chances anyway.
No, and it's about creating more and about putting the ball in the areas that he's going to be able to get the best out of himself, and we probably haven't been able to do that at this point, but still early days. Like I said, I have no qualms in terms of our ability to get the best out of Verdane. He's a guy that works exceptionally hard, and we're going to benefit from that.
As you mentioned earlier to Louis about the striking options, is it still a case of sort of almost suck it and see with the ones until you sort of see the partnership which perhaps slots in? And
a little bit, but all of them are good options. Doesn't matter what combination I go with. I still think they're effective. What we need to do is just create those more clear-cut chances that I'm talking about, and if that means working more on specifics in terms of the types of runs, we do that as a matter of course anyway, but it may be that we specify certain situations, recreate situations that we know will occur in a game and always occur, and make sure that we do the right things when those situations present themselves.
And as you say, the confidence of scoring first. I mean, you're playing a Hartlepool team. We've only scored one goal this season so far, so it probably makes that point of, if you can get that first goal, possibly even more important this weekend.
Yeah, it's really important. It's just the contrast between obviously the games we've had against Barrow and Newport and Doncaster as well. It's when you don't score, then you can't have that control just to be able to see a game to a safe conclusion. When you're still pressing for goals and you're still trying to create chances, then if you haven't got your nose in front, you can leave yourself open. So we've just got to be able just to create and convert the chances that we know we're capable of, and if we do that, then teams will find it difficult to come back against us, because we feel we've got that ability to control games when we're in the lead.